Through storms, unshaken, unbowed. Through trials and verdicts, still standing proud. A titan in the tempest, against the raging crowd. He's got a vision for the future, gonna shout it aloud. Changing the wind, it's coming fast. A new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key. Make the big switch. Power to the people. Time to teach the rich. Legal battles can't hold him. He's moving on. With plans so bold, from dusk till dawn. He's rewriting the rules. A new dawn's day. From the hands of the few to the people's way.
Welcome, everyone, to the Crazy Cryptonaut channel. I am Zester, and thank you guys so much for joining me on this Trump Day. I hope everyone is having an awesome week. I'm still playing around, trying to get the lighting and everything in the background just right. And so I think it's changed up pretty much every stream for the past week or so. But I think it's working fairly well today. At least I'm not completely super bright behind me or too dark in front, but still a work in progress. But how is everyone doing? Got some very exciting news to jump into today. Going to be talking about the Gemini Card program, because there's actually some new things. Going to be giving an update on where I'm at in the Zero to Retirement Challenge, only collecting crypto or collecting anything towards a retirement portfolio without spending money, without finding extra dollars. And so we'll give an update on where we're at on that one, because we're about to hit a pretty major milestone. And honestly, I'm amazed at how well everything is going up to this point. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. Then we'll do a tutorial on Gemini, show everyone around the exchange a little bit on the computer, before talking about a new blockchain that just launched on the 23rd of November, Monad. Monad is a new chain. We're going to be talking about it. And we're going to do a little bit of kind of using it as an example, showing everyone certain things to look at whenever you're considering a cryptocurrency. Things like what the inflation rate is going to be like over the coming years. How does it work? What does it offer? What makes it different? We're going to use it as a bit of an example. And I'm actually, as a heads up, I'm going to be swapping some crypto over to Monad. And so before we jump all into that, I'm going to say some good mornings. And I'm going to start ahead of time on this one, because today I need to make certain I say it. Please remember that this podcast is entirely for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not for financial advice. Please consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions. It's going to be an important one today, because I'm going to be buying cryptocurrency on the live stream. So I want to make certain that I keep the alphabet overlords happy. But first things first, good mornings, and then we're jumping straight in. Good morning, Kukla. Happy Trump Day. Good morning, Crazy Chester. Good morning, Mile High Trish. Oh man, I like the profile pic change on that one, Trish. I like the puppy. He's too cute. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Angel Wings. How are y'all doing? Oh, Anika 2021 says, for such a knowledgeable young man is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, good morning, Epicenter. Good morning, Sean Burden. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning. Thank you guys all so much for joining. Snow? Oh, no. You can keep that one, Barbara. You can keep that snow. It seems like a lot of places this year have been seeing some particularly early snow showers. In particular, I know North Carolina had some extremely early, beginning of November, snow showers in the Charlotte area that doesn't normally happen. Does not normally happen. What's up, Fred? Zester may be my last resort. Asking before. Oh, Fred, hopefully I will make certain to get on answering on that one today if you throw that question in. All right, Frank. Hopefully the price of XRP stays down for a few more days. I need 375 more to reach my mountain top. It is quite the time to be topping up on certain cryptos with the recent downturn correction, I should say. I prefer the term correction. Oh, all right. I'm sorry if I missed too many folks. I'm going to do a little bit of skipping ahead because I'm very excited to jump in to everything we've got to talk about today, including that one. Because Crazy Chester, I'll use that as a jumping off point for getting straight into it. Because yes, Gemini on the Gemini program has put out earn 5% back in crypto on every purchase from the 26th of November to the 7th of December, up to $2,500 in the crypto of your choosing. And so $100 of a purchase during these 12 days would be $5 in XRP or in any other crypto of your choice. That's actually one we're going to talk about today, Crazy Chester. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm very excited about some of the things we're going to chat about today, especially excited about chatting about Monad, the new crypto, but also exactly what Crazy Chester just brought up. So first stop, as always, let's see where the prices are currently at. $87,000 on Bitcoin. XRP is absolutely bucking the trend. XRP is doing the best of any of the top 10, really most of the top 50 cryptocurrencies. XRP sitting at $2.19, up 5.1% over the past 7 days, 0.9% over the past hour, and is bucking the trend from Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin down 4.2% over the past 7 days, XRP up 5.1%. This is a very, 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 very important distinction to make because typically the market follows Bitcoin. It is very, very hard to be going in the opposite direction from a price standpoint of Bitcoin when Bitcoin is dropping like this. This has got to be a testament to the XRP ETFs, to the ISO standards coming into effect, the fact that XRP is bucking the trend. I know that 5.1% and $2.19 definitely does not seem like that big of a win in comparison to $3 plus that it was sitting at not too long ago. But it is a very, very positive sign, a very, very positive sign. And so not much else to go looking at over here that's all that positive. So let's go ahead and jump straight to our update on the Zero to Retirement Challenge. And we're going to do it today with Gemini on the computer so that everyone can see my screen, can see what's going on, and hopefully I can explain better how these different parts of the program work as opposed to trying to show y'all, on the phone screen and turn it around for the camera. And so as of right now, in the Zero to Retirement Challenge, sitting at $954.53 from the Gemini program that I have managed to put together. This is through the spending the amount for the bonus and getting $200 of extra crypto for that. This is from referring. At this point, I've referred 8 people. And so for the first 5, that was $250 or $50 per person, plus a bonus $250 for the 5th person. So that was $500 just in referring 5 people, $200 and having brought and used a certain amount. And then the rest of the funds are actually coming from me spending the cashback rewards that I am getting from using the card and making the purchases that I was already going to be making. And so that is where we are at. And this is, in my mind, extremely, extremely, extremely insane to think about because we are only at about a month of actively pursuing the challenge. I'm at about 2 months of having the card and 1 month of actively really trying to use it, trying to leverage the system. And so very excited to see what other folks may have been having in terms of their own successes with this. But at this point in time, 0 to 954 and 22 And so that is one that I am very, 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 very excited about, all things considered. And it is actually broken down in a little bit of an unexpected allocation, because I didn't plan on actually having this Bitcoin when they had a little bit of an update. You needed to come in and change your crypto reward option. At least I apparently needed to. Some folks say that they never needed to. I apparently did, and I didn't. So I ended up getting some Bitcoin that I had not planned on getting. $145.11 worth of it as of right now, but sitting at $808 of XRP, $145 of Bitcoin. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the new little bonus thing that's going on right here. And so, yes, at this point in time, 5% back on everything on the Gemini card between November 26th and December 7th, up to $2,500 in spending. And so 5% back in the crypto of your choosing. I know that I'm going to be thinking about that in terms of Black Friday coming up this weekend. I'm going to be making certain that if anybody's getting a present from Zester, that present is definitely going to be being purchased off of the Gemini card. But let's go ahead and just start exploring Gemini as an exchange. Outside of the card, outside of anything to do with that, I wanted to show people how to use some of the basic features of Gemini. And in order to do so, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take some of that Bitcoin that I got rewarded in terms of the referrals, and I'm going to swap it over to a staking cryptocurrency and stake that crypto on Gemini. I felt like that might be a nice way of kind of showing people through the steps. I'll also show you how to withdraw crypto from Gemini in case you wanted to start taking rewards out or taking crypto that you have on the Gemini exchange and putting it over on, say, a Ledger hardware wallet, which would definitely be a very good idea to do in the long term. Me personally, I'm going to be keeping it on Gemini for now because it makes it a lot easier when I'm doing things like this and giving an update on how the challenge is going. It's a lot easier if everything's sitting right here inside of the dashboard. So I'm going to stick with Gemini for a little bit in terms of keeping some crypto there, but I'm going to show you how to get your crypto off, because you don't need to be leaving it over there for posterity's sake. And so, homepage on Gemini, of course, guys, this is after you have gone through the basic setup. You have created a Gemini account. Make certain if you created a Gemini account that you utilized a referral link, because Gemini gives you free crypto for using a person who is already a part of Gemini's link. Don't go and sign up for a Gemini account without using a link. You don't need to use mine, but use somebody's. If you do want to use mine is sitting in the description. But of course, just make certain you use someone. But you're all set up. You've got a Gemini account. When you were to log in on a computer, you're going to pop up here on homepage with the portfolio. And you can, right from this main page, go ahead and start doing things like trading, converting, everything of that nature, kind of getting an update. It even has a little new section here where you can actually see new token monad, which we're going to be talking about later in the show. You can actually see that they're advertising this new cryptocurrency, including other little bonus programs that they have going on, rewards with different merchants that'll get you more crypto, things of that nature. A helpful little update on any of the current programs. But what we're going to do is actually come over, we're going to start a trade. And we're going to make a trade. That way everyone can see it being done. This will be my first ever trade on the Gemini exchange. I did not go ahead and pre-plan out it. I'm going to be going through and doing it as if I were doing it for the first time, because I am, at least on this exchange. And so what I'm going to be trading today is I'm converting cryptocurrency. And so you'll see over here on trade that we've got different options. We've got buy, we've got sell, and we've got convert. Now, I have a bank account already connected here, so I could technically go through and make a purchase directly from my bank account on Gemini. I could say, hey, I want to make a purchase every day. I would like to make a small purchase of Bitcoin. I can go in, set that up. If I were to execute this order, then every single day, my bank would have a $10 charge taken out of it, and I would buy $10 of Bitcoin. Now, of course, you can just do it once, daily, weekly, twice monthly, all kinds of different time scales. But the idea of dollar cost averaging built in, kind of a nice little feature. Not one that I personally would recommend. I'd take a little bit more manual control over when I make trades, but very, very, very convenient if you are the type of person who wants to set it and forget it and not think about it anymore. But so, yes, you could go through, you could make that $10 purchase directly from a bank account, or you could change this over and you could switch to, say, a credit card, debit card, other things. I highly recommend, and you'll see why right here, I highly recommend a bank account because it's instant with no fees. If you attach any other forms of payment, you're going to get hit with fees on account of it. And sometimes they can get fairly exorbitant, to be honest. And so, same idea with sell. In this case, you would just be picking which crypto you want to sell that you currently hold. So you're only going to be able to pick ones that you have. I've only got Bitcoin and XRP, but I could potentially go in, say XRP. I would like to sell 50% of my XRP, and I would be rewarded in US dollars. This is a very, very, very taxable event. And so keep that in mind when you are making a sale of cryptocurrency back to US dollars. You're not going to have any debate that really can be gone through with the IRS. They're going to view that as a capital gains opportunity if you, of course, made money. Same idea. If you didn't make money, remember that's also a taxable event, but that one's going to be far more in your favor to make certain your accountant remembers to write down, because you'll be able to write down a loss. But what we're doing today is we're converting. And so what we're going to be converting from is Bitcoin, because I didn't want that Bitcoin in the first place, but I've got it. And so I'm happy that I do have it, but I'm going to be converting from Bitcoin to this new crypto token we're going to be talking about in the form of Monad. Well, if I'm allowed to, am I not allowed to buy Monad with looks like I'm not allowed to buy Monad with Bitcoin. And so I guess we'll go to Gemini dollar on this one. And so we've got 0.00165. And so 0.00165 Bitcoin, which is going to result in 141 of the Gemini stable coin. And so I'm going to go ahead and just make the switch over to it, since it's not letting me get Monad through this one. I'm not certain why, maybe because it is so new, but don't worry, we're still going to be talking about Monad. But now I'm going to go ahead and review the order. So I'm going to be swapping from Bitcoin to the Gemini USD. I'm going to be swapping the vast majority of the Bitcoin that I have received. I'll still have a little bit of Bitcoin, scratching around, a few Satoshis, but otherwise, let's go ahead and go for it. Now, everything here is inside of the exchange. And so this conversion, I'm not sending it to another wallet. It's not a custodial wallet. It's not my crypto. I am placing this cryptocurrency at this point in time, really, in full faith and credit given to Gemini. And so just remember that when you're making a swap inside of an exchange, you're swapping inside of a closed ecosystem. It's not really moving anywhere. Nothing really went anywhere. They just swapped numbers on screens. When you go and you are withdrawing from a crypto exchange, that's a different conversation. That's where you need your wallet. You need a destination to bring it to, and where you are legitimately changing the books for the exchange. That crypto is gone, no longer in their control. But all right, here's what we've got. We've got a conversion. We're converting from Bitcoin to Gemini dollar. We see our exchange rate when Bitcoin goes to 86,765 GUSD. Remember, 1 GUSD is just a dollar. It's a stable coin. And here's the fee. $3.56 is set to be the fee for making this swap. Now, this is fairly high, just as a heads up for everyone out there. This is a fairly high fee. Now, there are a few things that are causing this fee to be fairly high. One thing in particular is that I am currently using the simplified version of Gemini Trading, and I'm not going to be using the advanced trader today in terms of our first introduction to the Gemini exchange. That is one thing that is increasing the fees. Whenever you go to an advanced trading platform, you can place limit orders, market orders. You have a lot more control, and the fees go down 99% of the time. These type of little services, these are converters. And so they are taking a higher fee, but it's a lot easier. Y'all saw this was a very simple process. I typed in the numbers, I clicked yes, and it's like, let's go for it. Let's confirm the conversion. And so keep that in mind when you're using things like this. That is a little bit high, but you're paying for the simplicity. And so I'm going to go ahead and go for it. We're going to lose $3.56 in this conversion, but we're going to switch from Bitcoin over to a stable coin pegged to the US dollar. All right. And so I spent too long, and so it had to do an update due to price movement. The quoted price has changed. Your order did not execute. Please review and try again. So it just did a little update. I'm only getting 140 GUSD now. Convert order is complete. That's simple. I can go over to my portfolio, and I can now see this change that has occurred. I now have 140.87 Gemini dollars, making up 14.88% of my portfolio. I have a little bit of Bitcoin still scratching around 27 cents worth. Not really going to worry about that. And still my main XRP sitting at $805.37 or 368 XRP. And so I made a swap. I converted from Bitcoin over to the Gemini dollar. And that is very easily done on the Gemini exchange through the trade functionality here. You just make a conversion. No big worry at all. Same idea here with buy and sell, but remember, you're going to be taking dollars out of a bank account. You need a payment method here. Convert is just crypto. Buy and sell, you're talking about going from on-chain to off-chain, or off-chain to on-chain. One of those two directions. That's going to be a buy or a sell. And so that's going to require having some type of payment method set up with Gemini or on any exchange. And so we've made a simple little conversion there. Let's actually look at what would happen if I now wanted to get this crypto off the exchange. In my situation, I don't really want to do that, so I'm not going to execute it, but I'm going to show you exactly how. And so say you have earned something, you've bought some crypto on Gemini, you want to put it over in your Ledger hardware wallet, you're going to come up here to transfer. And so on transfer, you're going to want to come over to send crypto. This is going to be you sending crypto that's currently on your Gemini exchange to another wallet, anywhere out there that you want to send it to type deal. And so that would be send. If you want to receive crypto to your Gemini account, so you have crypto on your ledger, you want to send it to the exchange to sell it, swap it, whatever, that would be receive crypto. But in the case, I think, of most folks on an exchange, you're probably trying to send crypto off. And so that one is pretty darn easy. All you're going to do is click send crypto. You're going to choose the cryptocurrency that you are attempting to send. And so if you are attempting to send XRP, you're going to click XRP. And then you are going to copy your wallet address from Ledger Live. You're going to copy it over to here, or that wallet address from wherever you are trying to send to. Remember, with XRP, you've got to have a tagline, or at least you're much better off always just putting in your memo address. The memo, or the destination tag, as it's referred to, is only really important when you are sending XRP to something like an exchange. That is when it is extremely important you include the destination tag. Now, in a situation where you're sending to your own wallet, it's not as important, but I think you're better off just getting in the mindset of always including it. That memo address or destination tag can be found inside of Ledger Live or inside of any XRP wallet. It will be an option on the other side when you click receive. And so if you were to click receive on crypto and say choose XRP, you would see that you have a receive address that now is necessary. This would be for sending XRP to the Gemini wallet. This would be my address in order to do that if I were, say, sending from Ledger. But very easy on that one. That is the same process you're going to see on pretty much every centralized exchange. The terminology is the same. It is send crypto, receive crypto, choose which blockchain, bada bing, bada boom. You'll find it in a different place. It's a different button, but otherwise, this is pretty much a lesson you can take and apply to any centralized exchange. All right, let's take one break and see any questions that I have missed as I was talking on that one, and then we'll jump in to the rest of the different features on the Gemini exchange. All right, all right. Oh, man. Yeah, seeing a bunch of very, very interesting ones. Yep, my Trish just placed an Amazon order. So glad I used Gemini Card. Yeah, the 5% back right now is an incredibly, incredibly good deal when you consider that you're getting paid back in XRP while XRP's price is down. So if you were a $100 purchase, you're going to get $5 of XRP. Right now, you're going to get over 2 XRP. When 1 XRP is worth $5, that same $100 purchase was only going to net you 1 XRP coin. And so, especially while the prices are down, that 5% deal for the coming days from Gemini is a slam dunk. But yes, yeah, very, very important. Thank you, Mile High Trish, for answering Ellen on that one. You don't automatically get the Gemini card. You need to apply for it. It's a regular MasterCard. It's $0 to apply, but of course it operates like a credit card. And so keep that in mind. It definitely requires discipline in terms of making certain that you don't go buying things that you weren't already planning on buying. This program works amazing if you're only spending it on things, you're only moving over expenses you are already going to be making. You know, already got to pay the electric bill. Not a choice. I got to pay it. That's a great example of something that can move over to a program like this, and you can start building towards retirement without having to find extra dollars in the budget to be allocating towards buying cryptos or things of that nature. And so, yes, definitely. Although I saw a really great question somewhere along the way as I was going through, and now I'm trying to lose it somewhere in the chat. Let me look real quick. Let me see if I can try to track that down. Hey, what's up, Doug? Welcome, welcome. All right, all right, all right. I think I have managed to catch up with that one. Zester, yeah, Xmas is coming. Absolutely. I hope everyone is looking forward to having an awesome, awesome Christmas. I'm very excited to see what Trump's Christmas plans are this year. I'm certain he's going to throw everybody a curveball. Kathy 888. I opened a Gemini account a long time ago and did nothing with it. Too confusing. Kathy, it can be at first. It definitely feels overwhelming, but Gemini has made it pretty easy at this point. I would say Coinbase and Gemini are pretty similar in terms of the simplicity of using them. It gets more complicated, though, Kathy, when you start trying to do more advanced things. But In terms of the basics, I think you got this, Kathy. Remember, you can always come and ask us questions on anything that may get you caught up. All right, though, guys, let's continue on to the next parts of what Gemini Exchange can offer. We've got up here staking. And so, very similar to how other different crypto exchanges work, you can stake your proof of stake cryptos directly inside of the exchange. And so, currently, they're saying up to 6% APR on Solana, up to 3% APR on Ethereum, and up to 12% APR on the new crypto monad. The reason they are giving you these rewards are because these blockchains reward stakers for verifying the network. You give, or you lock up, you stake Solana, and you are rewarded Solana for having done so. And so this is not something where your stake is being used to provide liquidity or loans. This is a pretty bulletproof, safe way of staking or earning a staking return, because you're not being used as liquidity. You're not being, lent out. Essentially, the biggest risk you have when it comes down to these is Gemini gets hacked or something of that nature, or you have a risk of, well, while it was staked, the price went drastically down or drastically up, and you were unable to buy or sell or do what you wanted with because it was locked up in that staking contract. And so those really are the only risks that you can really have with staking of this nature. That's what makes this type of staking a lot safer in many ways, because you're not providing liquidity. You're not doing anything where you are regularly encountering a chance where you could potentially lose anything. With this staking, if you put in 1 Ethereum, you're going to get 1 Ethereum back. You don't have that kind of worry that you're going to actually lose what you put in. The price of Ethereum, though, could have gone down during that time or gone up. Doesn't matter. You put 1 Ethereum in, you're going to get 1 Ethereum out, and you're going to get your reward for having provided that Ethereum paid in the form of Ethereum throughout that time that you keep it staked. And so very, very easy to do on Gemini. We've looked at this on Coinbase. Coinbase offers this exact same type of service. Coinbase actually has more staking options directly inside of the exchange than Gemini does. And so Coinbase definitely winning on this side. They've got more different options. But very cool to be able to have it directly inside. And when you have taken on your card, and so let's come over here. When you have taken on your card a certain crypto, and so like we are currently, of course, we're receiving rewards in XRP. If I were to come down here and change reward, and I were to change reward to Solana, I will receive my reward for utilizing the card to make my purchases in Solana. And then that Solana can then be automatically staked to start earning me a staking return on the Solana. And so this is actually very, very, very cool when you think about it as a way of kind of doubling up on your dip, because you're now going to, say if I choose Solana, earn up to 6% APR on my Solana rewards. And so I can then choose earn SOL rewards and auto stake. And so whenever I use my card and I earn some Solana, that Solana will immediately be staked and it will start earning 6% APR. Very, very cool. Very, very, very lazy friendly on that one, because you don't have to do anything. All I would do is click this button. Personally, I don't want to be earning Solana right now. Not because I have anything against Solana. I'm not interested right now. I'm sticking with my XRP at the moment. And so in that regard, I have a lot of options though here. You can pretty much choose. You can choose a lot. You can even choose to receive your rewards in in RLUSD and Ripple stablecoin, or you could receive your rewards in Pax Gold. And this is something that I wanted to show folks today on here. Pax Gold is the crypto where it is tokenized gold. 1 gold ounce means 1 Pax Gold token. And so if you were collecting rewards in Pax Gold, you would be collecting rewards in gold because it is exchangeable 1-to-1. And so this I thought was very, very cool. I know most, I'm on Ripple, I'm on XRP, at least for right now with my rewards. I am thinking about switching over to Monad and using Monad for the double staking. And so if Monad becomes an option, I'm going to probably switch over to it myself personally. But I thought everyone should know that Pax Gold was an option on here for your Gemini card. And so when you are going and you are making a purchase, like over the coming days, if you were to make $100 purchase, you're going to receive $5 back in gold if Pax Gold was your selected option. I thought that was particularly cool. Thought some folks might find that interesting. I want them to let me take Monad, though, and that is not an option yet for the card. And so I will probably be rotating over to it when it does become an opportunity. All right, though. Something else to check out here inside of Gemini is on-chain. And so another thing that Gemini has already brought is the ability to interact with decentralized finance. This requires you to have a wallet to connect. And so this is where you are no longer on the centralized exchange. You are on a decentralized exchange. And so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to connect a MetaMask wallet to this A8DC. This is a ledger connected wallet. And so I feel very comfortable that no one's going to be able to take anything from me. And you'll see here, I am now connected to a decentralized exchange inside of Gemini. This gives me the ability to make swaps back and forth between a variety of different cryptocurrencies that are all DeFi related. These are decentralized liquidity pools. This is separate from a centralized exchange because my crypto, this balance that you see right here, this is not on the Gemini exchange. This is on my wallet. It's on my Ledger hardware wallet. But I'm capable of coming in here and interacting with it. You can make different choices. They've actually got some different decentralized finance staking options over here. But you will notice this is different. In this situation and they've even specified, they call it invest. They don't call it staking. In this situation, what I would be doing is I would be providing USDC to the vault, and they would be lending my USDC out. That comes with a risk. And so this is a medium risk category, medium risk, medium reward. They're currently saying an APY of 8.25%, but this is going to be entirely dependent upon how many people are utilizing the liquidity pool and ensuring that you don't have any situation where some folks are, say, not paying you back. And so compliments of smart contracts, this is still pretty safe, but there is a difference here. It's a very important distinction. Remember, whenever you're looking at things, the higher reward you are receiving, it usually means the higher risk you are taking. Whenever it comes down to returns on investments, if the returns are high, you can pretty much make an assumption that the risk is high. And so keep that in mind. But a very, very cool extra thing that they have here. And also, I felt like a very good learning point for everyone in that there's a very big difference here. When I am in Gemini, right here, Gemini has this bounce. This crypto is being held by Gemini. When I am interacting with decentralized finance, this crypto is being held by Zester, only Zester. And so there's a very, very important distinction here when it comes down to a decentralized and a centralized. And because of how Gemini had this set up, it made it very easy to try and draw that line for everyone. And so I hope that might help a little bit with folks when you're learning about or thinking about that distinction. Centralized, Gemini holds the keys. Decentralized, Zester holds the keys. But it's kind of nice right here when you can very easily click back and forth and show that distinction. And so another thing that they offer on the Gemini exchange, pretty cool in my opinion, as I am a very, very big decentralized finance supporter. But yes, otherwise a very, very cool setup. Gemini has made it very, very simple. We have walked through the vast majority of the different things that you can do on the Gemini exchange, at least for a beginner level. And so excited to see what have other folks' thoughts been on Gemini. How easily has it been working with the card? How many folks have gone through and actually bought cryptocurrency on the Gemini exchange? I am still very much used to making my purchases through Coinbase. But when it comes down to it, Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, it doesn't matter where you get it, as long as you're storing it someplace safe. And so I'm thinking about maybe making some purchases through Gemini whenever I'm going from fiat to crypto in the future, and maybe making some comparisons between the two. But so far, it seems as if pretty much the same idea. This convert fee, I would say over here on Gemini, is about the same as the convert fee over on Coinbase, and it is too high. You're much better off actually going through and utilizing advanced trading in order to get that fee down a bit. But in all honesty, it's not extremely high. It's still much, much, much lower than it would be if you were to utilize any of some of the other services out there, or if you were to be making a purchase with a credit or a debit card. All right. What is up? What is up, Patricia Lee? Welcome, welcome. All right, let's see which questions I missed as I was on that one. I'm on Amazon. Oh, I think I missed the beginning of that one. Terry Evelyn, should we keep buying XRP? Terry, for me personally, I'm very happy with the overall amount of XRP that I have. I don't worry really about getting more of it. I worry more about balancing everything out and balancing out where I'm putting all of my eggs rather than putting them all into the same basket. But this is a different debate for everyone, Terry. Definitely is. And so on a personal level, do you want to add more XRP to your savings, to that retirement fund? Then, hey, the price is lower than it was a few months ago. Me personally, though, Terry, I'm more focused on balancing out my portfolio at this point in time. I'm already so heavily leaned towards XRP. I don't worry about getting more during a time like this, but I have been enjoying getting the rewards in XRP from the card during a time like this because I'm getting a lot more than I would. But even with the rewards, I'm thinking that I'm going to start spreading it out for this zero to retirement challenge. That way we're not entirely reliant on one cryptocurrency's price movement. Why do I say that? Well, because of things like what we talked about at the beginning today. It's going to start becoming more and more common to see cryptocurrencies not following Bitcoin. These cryptos all do different things. They are different applications of blockchain technology. They don't do the same thing. BNB and XRP are not the same thing. XRP and Bitcoin, not the same thing. Ethereum and Solana, those two are a lot more alike. But Ethereum and Bitcoin, nothing about them is overly similar. And so I am very, very focused at this point on trying to diversify myself more, because we're going to start entering into a growth phase of crypto where we should start to see some of these different cryptocurrencies break away from just following Bitcoin. An example of that would actually be some certain markets that have been actually performing fairly well during this recent downturn. And one would be, and I put this one up because I thought this might be an application of blockchain technology that many folks would not be aware of. Filecoin rises 1.8%. It is a storage blockchain. Filecoin is designed around the idea of decentralized data storage. Think about how much you hear about Google's giant data centers. They cost a fortune. They make a fortune for the companies that operate them. What Filecoin does is it provides the ability or the idea that you could decentralize file storage and data storage, and you could reward people or pay people for storing data in this decentralized fashion through the Filecoin blockchain. I'm not saying go get Filecoin. I'm saying it's an entirely different use case. And we're seeing that very clearly right now. Look at, back to the markets again, look at privacy coins. While the whole market has been doing very poorly, Zcash has been kicking butt. And so while every other market is doing poorly, Zcash continues on an upward trajectory. Why? Zcash is a privacy blockchain. It is designed for sending encrypted private transactions and transfers. Privacy coins are doing very, very well right now. And so this is something that I think is a good one for everyone to look at. This is something I'm focusing very much on right now, is trying to decentralize my portfolio more and more and more. Because we do. There's so many applications of this technology. To say that it's internet money, or to say that it's just Bitcoin or just XRP, it's so much more. It is proof of origin. It is proof of ownership. It is so many applications. And so, Terry, I would highly recommend maybe looking at some other ones, but that's your personal situation. I'm happy with the amount of XRP that I have together at this point. I'm not too worried about adding more, so I'm going to look to diversify. All right. Good afternoon, Patricia Lee. Very glad to have you here. Yes, and so yeah. Mile High Trish, in response to Joy, but Zester doesn't have an Amazon. The code discount he mentioned was in using the Gemini card. You get 5% back in crypto on all purchases on Gemini card for the next, well, let's see. They actually have a little countdown on one of these pages. And so for the next 11 days, 11 hours, and 41 minutes and 22 seconds, it's 5% back on all purchases on the card in the cryptocurrency of your choosing. And so, yes, Zester is not going to be buying anyone any Christmas presents after 11 days and 11 hours from now. This is the timeline. If I don't find you something during this time, sorry, we'll wait for the next Gemini. We'll wait for the next promotional bonus. But all joking aside, that's what I'm planning on doing. If there's anything left for my bills that I need to pay for the rest of the year, for anything, I'm going to plan on trying to get it done during this time to get that bonus. Shirley McClendon, what can you tell us about World Liberty Financial, WLFI? Shirley McClendon, World Liberty Financial. Well, of course, it's the Trump-connected cryptocurrency. Vast majority of the tokens are a part of Trump Foundation, things of that nature, and so very much controlled from a supply standpoint by the Trump family. Eric and Donald Trump Jr. being the ones that are apparently actively working more with the World Liberty Financial team. But Trump has done events with them. World Liberty Financial is planning on building out a lending decentralized finance platform. And so essentially something kind of similar to what I just showed you that Gemini has, is where World Liberty Financial is more focused on decentralized finance. They want to create a lending protocol. They want to create a decentralized exchange. And they have put together a fairly substantial crypto treasury of Ethereum, Bitcoin, lots of different cryptos. Beyond that, Shirley McClendon, they're not doing anything special. To be completely honest and completely fair about it, they're doing nothing special. They're not creating anything new. They are merely buying. They're buying technology from other companies and other developers. Shirley McClendon, I do not hold World Liberty Financial. When it originally launched during the Trump campaign before he was president, U.S. investors were not allowed to buy it. It was only allowed if you were an accredited investor in the United States, or you were just anybody who wasn't an American, you were allowed to buy. This immediately put quite the stink around it when you think about the fact that it's being backed by the president of the United States. And, well, I, as a supporter of said president, was not allowed to legally buy it. Now that has changed, surely, and now they're saying, well, anybody can buy and hold World Liberty Financial because, well, now he won the presidency, and the landscape has changed on that one from a legal perspective because of the SEC's alterations to the rules. I still have not bought it. And so surely it is the Trump connected crypto project. It has done pretty well as of late, in all honesty. And so for those curious, this would be it. World Liberty Financial, $4.3 billion market cap. Over the past 7 days, actually up 20.4% over the past 7 days. Still has a massive amount of the supply that has not been released. And so only 27 billion, or about 27% of all of the tokens are in circulation. And so it's going to continue having inflation for a very long time as those tokens are unlocked. But surely it's kind of the Trump play, I guess is what you could really call it. It's a Trump play, World Liberty Financial. A joyful voice. Is it safe to connect decentralized to Coinbase? A joyful voice. Are you talking about the Coinbase software wallet or Coinbase wallet, or are you talking about like connecting a MetaMask wallet or something to Coinbase? I'm not certain on that one, a joyful voice, because Coinbase wallet do not use. That is a wallet application. Everyone has had a terrible time. Do not use the Coinbase wallet. Coinbase Exchange is different from the Coinbase wallet. There's not an inherent danger of joyful voice. Just remember, whenever you are connecting a software wallet to any service, there is inherently a risk that is occurring, because it is publicly online, that connection. And so when I come over here, a joyful voice, and I come to this on-chain option, and you see that I have got a wallet connected here, this is a Ledger hardware wallet that I connected. I'm very safe, and I'm blasting around on here without any worry in the world, because that Ledger hardware wallet is not even plugged in. And so no transaction could leave this wallet. But if this were not a Ledger hardware wallet and I were to connect to a shady source, there is a risk. And so with Coinbase, there shouldn't be a risk, a joyful voice, a publicly traded US-based company. But you are publicly communicating. Someone could, a hacker, a malicious actor could see that happening, could try to send you a transaction and try to trick you into doing something that would be no good for you. And so there is always going to be more risk when you are connecting a software wallet like that, a hot wallet, to anything, because your seed phrase is on your computer. On a hardware wallet, your seed phrase is not on a computer. And so that's a great question, Joyful Voice. I do want to make certain though that I answered it right on that one. Yeah, and so Ellen, how do I apply for the Gemini card? It actually right down in the description. You will see the link. That way you will also get $50 of the crypto of your choosing for going through and doing it. When I went through and originally got the card, I didn't use anyone's link. I would have an extra $50 if I had used somebody's link. And so heads up, don't do what Zester did. I got all excited for my XRP card and I just signed up and I didn't look through the details. Otherwise, I would not have 952. I'd have $1,002 already towards the challenge. And so, yeah, that $50 would have broken the $1,000 mark, actually, if I had done it. So definitely make certain you use somebody's link on that. Centralized, Ellen, is connected to the current fiat system. Ellen, centralized exchanges. That's a great question, Ellen. And actually, the way that you asked it, I think might help make this very, very easy, because centralized are the connection to the old system. They are where the old system and the new system communicate. It is where you go from blockchain currencies to fiat currencies or vice versa. And so in many ways, Ellen, yes, you can see them as a transfer station between the fiat system and the evolving digital crypto blockchain based system. Oh, Kukla, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I hope you and the family have a wonderful one. Have a wonderful one. Absolutely. I bet you're going to be going all out on the cooking. I bet you are. Barbara, is there advanced trading only on iPad/iPhone? Barbara, no. There is advanced trading directly through here. The problem is that where you go to click on advanced trading, it reveals a lot of personal information to the internet on the Gemini exchange. And so I really want to show everyone the that functionality. And I can show you that functionality, but I can't show you where to click the button. And so let me pop it back over here and show you where you would click. You would click up here on the little face guy, the little person icon, and then you would go down and you would click Advanced Active Trader. This will get you to the advanced trading board for Gemini. And so to reiterate, up here, click on it, come down, Advanced Active Trader, and you will actually be over here sitting on the advanced trading platform. This is awesome. I love trading on. I much prefer trading with the order books like this because you have so much more functionality, Barbara, and you pay a lot less. You can really be a lot more controlled with what you're doing. And so, as you can see over here, you have the ability. You see my portfolio down here in balances, but I have the ability to set stop limit orders, market orders. Stop limit orders are really, really cool. If you have that kind of break point and you were like, hey, if the price drops below here, I'm out. You can set up a stop order through this page, which would automatically liquidate your position, stop the bleeding. You can set up a limit order. Now, a limit order could be used to say at $5 per XRP, I want to sell 100 XRP. I could put that limit order in. It would sit here on the order books. And when the price of XRP hit $5, the order would execute. It's super, super amazing functionality. So useful because it allows you to literally go ahead and preset things. Say you literally just don't want to look at it. You want to sell XRP at $10. You could go right in here, set a limit order for $10 for your entire XRP bag, and you could go off and live your life. When the price hits 10, your order will execute, and your money will be sitting there on the Gemini exchange. Coinbase has this, Gemini has this, Kraken has this. Pretty much every exchange is going to have this same thing, and most of them even break it down the same way. They've got simple trading and they've got advanced trading. Advanced trading is going to look like this. You're going to get a lot of order books. You're going to get a lot of information, a lot of charts. The simplified trading is going to be what it looks like when you're back over here on the main page of Gemini and you're looking at this. And you're pretty much going to see something like this. This is your simplified version. It's made easy. You pay higher fees, but a whole lot easier to digest of a page, right? You got a whole lot less screaming at you. Coinbase, Barbara, Coinbase has advanced trading on the PC, and it used to have advanced trading on the iPhone. I know. I use the advanced trading though on Coinbase on my computer, which it absolutely does. I think they have it on the iPad, Barbara. I think that they do. I wouldn't think that they wouldn't have it, but I might have to check on that one. Barbara, I might need to go check myself because I do tend to always prioritize the computer whenever I'm doing stuff in crypto. All right, though. I have completely lost track of time on this one and gone very, very long. And so I'm going to, instead of jumping in and doing a full deep dive into Monad, I'm actually going to set up our next conversation about Monad. And so on Friday, we are going to be talking about Monad. Monad is a new layer 1 crypto blockchain that just launched on the 24th of November is when it started tracking on CoinGecko. And so this thing is 2 days old, barely spent any time out here in the real world. It is already substantially up, currently sitting at a market cap of 477 million. But with only a very small amount of the circulating supply released. And so this is going to massively inflate up to 100 billion Monad at some point in time. But what's very, very interesting, and the reason that I wanted to talk about Monad is because of all of the different things for folks to be paying attention to. Monad has been out for 2 days. You notice that Monad is on Gemini. You see it pop up immediately, new token Monad. You go over and you look at MetaMask. Jump into Monad. Monad immediately had built-in integrations for MetaMask. It immediately launched on Gemini. It immediately launched on, and you come down here, guys, to see exchanges. It immediately launched on Coinbase, KuCoin, Upbit, Gate, Rbit, BitThumb. It immediately launched on essentially every exchange on the planet, and it's only 2 days old. This is extremely interesting. This is an indication that this team is extremely connected and that they have already done the vast majority of the work. What Monad does as a blockchain, it processes well over 10,000 transactions per second with near zero fees. What it does differently, though, and this is what no other blockchain can do, it processes multiple transactions simultaneously, making it 100 to 1,000 times faster than competing blockchains. It is fully EVM bytecode compatible. That means it immediately can talk and converse with the Ethereum blockchain, the Binance blockchain, the Avalanche blockchain, and a variety of other EVM compatibles. And it has extremely low requirements for miners. It is a proof of stake blockchain. and it utilizes a very, very unique consensus mechanism, kind of somewhat similar in certain ways. It uses a consensus algorithm that is similar to XRP, but with more decentralized functionality than the XRP blockchain. It has already had a variety of different projects launch on it. Meme coins have started launching on the blockchain. It's having constant different integrations and new announcements coming out. This one is coming out with a buttload of hype at a time when the market is on a downtrend. We're going to be diving in and learning about it. It is brand new, guys, and so please do not take this as any form of an endorsement. This is a matter of curiosity. Something this new, something that is purporting to have essentially solved a lot of giant technological gaps and have just to have launched with these solutions is very interesting. And so we're going to be talking about it. We'll do a deep dive on Monad on Friday. Matter of fact, we'll even have a bit more information by then because we'll have twice as much information as we currently have about it. And it's very, very interesting. The timing is intriguing to me because it launched immediately following the ISO designation. It seems to be targeted around some of the different end user functionality that would be necessary for a blockchain similar to XRP. This one's very intriguing. I'm very, very curious about where it's going. And it is built and headquartered in the United States. And so Monad is a US-based blockchain, which for me was another very intriguing part to this conversation, because it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what all is not going on with this one. This had an insane amount of funding, came out essentially fully developed, fully ready, and that's very odd in the cryptocurrency and even in the overall tech space. So we're going to be looking at that one on Friday. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and run off. It's been an hour and 7 minutes. I lost track of time talking about Gemini and going through the program. I hope folks have been enjoying that and are finding benefit from learning about it. Let me know. Let me know how have these different little things we've talked about been working for you. Are y'all using Brave Browser? Are you earning Brave rewards? Are you using the Gemini card? Are you getting rewards from it? With those type of things, I'm very curious to see how they're working for y'all. And what y'all think might be helpful from my perspective in kind of showing you how to use these things, what you want to do with it, what are your next steps. Please let me know. Other than that, I hope everyone has an amazing, amazing holiday. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. It's my favorite holiday of the year by a long shot. The opportunity to hang out with family. I don't need to buy presents. All I need to do is find my best pair of pants with the stretchiest waistband. And so I am very, very excited. Love you all. Please have an amazing one. And after you go into a turkey coma, come hang out on Friday. If you're not out Black Friday shopping, come hang out and we'll learn about Monad, the new blockchain. Peace, y'all.